think it's safe to say that, as of late, a lot of Warhammer games that have come out recently have been, well, polarising to say the least. Despite having really good entries like Space Hulk Deathwing, Necromunda Hired Gun, fans didn't seem to get completely behind those titles. But with this recent entry of Warhammer 40,000 Boltgun, we have a very stripped down, bare bones first person shooter, and as a result, it's made me question why it's taken so long that a developer has created a game such as this. Developed by Auroch Digital and published by Focus Entertainment, Boltgun has us take the role of a Space Marine of the Ultramarines chapter, with gameplay and artistic style heavily influenced by old 1990s shooters such as Doom, with a sprinkling of modern AI enemy behaviour. Now, before we go any further, I would just like to say, I love this game. I love it. Nothing else to say. It is just so much fun to play. I'm now several hours deep into the game, and it just does not let up on the action. It is just so much fun. As the Space Marine, you will be facing down hordes of cultists, demons, and heretic Astartes alike. One of the more interesting Easter eggs I found about this game that it seems to be a bit of a soft sequel to Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine. Set on the same forge world of Graia, you are sent on a mission by the Inquisition to investigate rogue tech priests that have been experimenting on late Inquisitor Drogon's power source. However, during the descent, the drop pod comes across a malfunction and you are the sole survivor from the crash. And as you battle your way through Chaos forces, it is soon discovered that the enemy's leader, a Chaos sorcerer, seeks the power source for his own purposes. As you discover this, the sorcerer has already managed to obtain the information of the location of the source, and it is a race against time to stop him. To aid you along the way is a servo skull that once belonged to Inquisitor Drogon, and a slew of weapons to tear down anything that is in your way. Aside from the game's title weapon, we have other classic weapons like the heavy bolter, the plasma gun, the shotgun, and the vengeance launcher, to name a few. But my personal favourite is the iconic chainsword. This is the only melee weapon in the game, but quite frankly, it's the only one that you will ever need. You'll find using this weapon for two reasons. One, to weaken foes, the more heavily armoured enemies, or for delivering that excellent killing blow. Now, despite this vast array of weapons, I always find myself coming back to the bolter. And this is where I have to really praise the developers on this one. I genuinely feel that they've done this weapon justice. In essence, this weapon is kind of like a semi-automatic grenade launcher, essentially. Once the round penetrates its target, it explodes, and the developers have made it feel it just like that. Whereas other games have made it look a little bit more like a machine gun. The Boltgun in this game, however, once it hits its target, leaves everything exploding into a pink mist. Another favourite of mine is the plasma gun. Now, in the lore, this is quite a dangerous weapon as it's been known to blow up in the user's face, but thankfully you will not find that happen here. This weapon is good against medium armoured opponents, but the smaller magazine kind of goes against it as well, so you must use those shots pretty sparingly. Now, what I did like about this is when you select your weapons, you'll actually see a strength counter next to each weapon. And as you put your crosshairs in front of an enemy like you see right now, you'll actually see that it has a toughness rating too. Now, I thought this was a brilliant nod to its tabletop counterpart. I really feel like the developers have paid attention, but also just like throwing in that nice little Easter egg in there. Overall gameplay is fast-paced, chaotic, and just outright brutal. The controls themselves feel very natural and not convoluted, but I like the fact that they threw in also a taunt button on there. There's some excellent old school power-ups as well, which enhance your war gear, which I thought was a really good throwback to the likes of like Doom and Quake. And speaking of Doom, graphically these guys have done a fantastic job recreating that 90s first-person shooter game feel. However, they've also done a fantastic job in capturing the look and essence of the grim, dark 40k universe perfectly. Overall, campaign-wise, lasts roughly around about 8 hours, and there is definitely replay value to this game. As with each level, there's secret rooms to unlock, as well as a chance to try and get 100% kills in each stage. I think you can tell by now that I highly recommend this game to people. If you are a fan of Warhammer 40,000, I think you owe it to yourself to at least give this a go. but also fans of old school shooters, and I hate to use the term boomer shooter as I've heard it being bandied about, but fans of the likes of Doom and the original Quake will certainly get that nostalgic feel playing this game. With an average user score on Steam of 9 out of 10, I think it's safe to say that there's a lot of people that are not only playing this game, but are really, really enjoying it. Definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. Oh yeah, by the way, whoever came up with the idea of putting Sassy Nurgle in this game, I salute you.